The college football playoff rankings dropped last night, and man, I got to keep it a buck with y'all. This selection committee's a mess. You can see it's extremely unorganized. There isn't a consistent criteria, which is a big gripe with me. They're giving us about as much transparency as a politician would or a big pharma company would. And I think that's what's driving me the most nuts about them. So I'll start with this. This is the first thing. Last summer, before the season, the selection committee made a big deal out of saying we're going to value strength of schedule more in this go around. And so we pivot to this year, and I ask the question, why is Ohio State number one over Indiana and Texas A&M? Okay, Texas A&M has got to win at Notre Dame. Indiana's got to win at Oregon. Ohio State's best win is against Texas at home. And we've seen how Texas has performed on the road this year. It hasn't been pretty. And so if you think Ohio State has the best resume in the country and is worthy of being number one, then why don't you rank Texas ahead of Oregon and ahead of Notre Dame? It's just my question. Because you look at all these other resumes, none of these teams have any other wins in the strength of record top 20. Okay, A&M's got Missouri and LSU. Indiana's got Illinois and Iowa, probably their second best wins. Ohio State, probably Washington is their second best win. So those wins carry a lot of weight here. All right. And what are they ranked in terms of metrically strength of schedule ratings? A&M's 23rd, Indiana's 38th, Ohio State's 53rd. You guys were hooting and hollering all summer about how this stuff is going to matter, and then it's go time, and what do you know? Exact same as last year, if not worse. And the reality of it is if Texas A&M decided to schedule Brentwood High School instead of Notre Dame on the road, they'd be ranked in the exact same spot. And that is a major issue. Okay. And you go down the line, strength of record top 50 wins. Well, A&M's got 5, Indiana's got 3, and Ohio State's got 3. So strength of schedule, big wins, this stuff has got to matter. And it clearly doesn't. I look at number 9, and I see Notre Dame ranked there. Even though Miami beat them head-to-head and is ranked behind them while having the exact same record and very similar in strength of schedule ratings. I think Alabama has a major argument to be ranked ahead of Notre Dame. You've got that road win against Georgia, probably the best win out of anyone in college football to this point. You've got wins over Vandy, Missouri with their starting quarterback. I encourage you to look at their record with Bo Pribula as the starter. And you got to win over Tennessee. Notre Dame's best win is against USC and then Pitt, Navy. And I get that Bama has the loss against Florida State, but you look at big picture, okay? Strength of schedule, these two teams have the same record, all right? Strength of schedule, Bama sitting at 10th, Notre Dame sitting at 34th. That's a pretty big difference to me. You look at the fact that Bama, against strength of record top 25 teams, is 5-1, and Notre Dame's 1-2. I think Bama made up for that loss with all of those big wins that Notre Dame just doesn't seem to have. But this is the one that drives me the most crazy. What is Notre Dame doing ranked ahead of BYU? You look at these resumes, man. BYU's got the better record. They've played the tougher schedule. They've got the better win than Notre Dame does. Because the committee went ahead and ranked Utah ahead of USC. So if you're going to rank Utah ahead of USC and BYU has a better record, they've played a tougher schedule on paper, which you said you were going to use even more. Why on blithering earth is Notre Dame ranked ahead of BYU? They have just as many top 25 wins as Notre Dame does as well, because you ranked Arizona in the top 25, who BYU beat on the road. BYU's lone loss, is against Texas Tech, who you ranked in the top 5. Notre Dame has a loss against a team you ranked outside the top 10. What's the logic here? There isn't any. I don't see it. And I don't even think BYU should be ranked behind Alabama either. BYU's had their opportunities to lose to the Florida States of the world, and they haven't. They've pulled through. You can't say the same about Alabama. And BYU also has a lot of big wins too, just like Alabama does. That doesn't make sense to me. So we keep looking through here, and we see Utah ranked ahead of Vanderbilt, which again perplexed me because of what the committee was talking about over the summer in the NCAA. Vandy's strength of schedule is ranked 23rd. Utah's is ranked 55th. These two teams have got the same record. And on the surface, good losses, right? Utah lost at BYU, Texas Tech. Vandy lost on the road at Bama and at Texas. And this is going to piss a lot of people off because I'm going to say something that's controversial. These Big 12 and SEC schedules, they're not the same. And the selection committee just doesn't understand that. Wins against Missouri, LSU, Auburn, and South Carolina is much more impressive than wins against Cincy, Baylor, Colorado, West Virginia, and Arizona State with their backup QB. You factor in the SEC being undefeated against the Big 12 this year. You factor in the fact that a 1-win SEC team in Auburn went on the road and beat a 3-win Big 12 team by multiple scores. And they were winning that entire game. You factor in the fact that a team that just won their first SEC game in 2 years in Mississippi State beat a 6-win Big 12 team that is third in the conference right now in Arizona State. All of that should matter. And the reason why I'm mentioning that ASU thing is because it's probably on paper Utah's best win. And the selection committee just doesn't get that. That there are on-field results to prove that Vandy's schedule, they have the same record, that Vandy's schedule is much tougher than Utah's. And here we are with the same thing over and over again. So, you know what Utah and Notre Dame and Ohio State being ranked high tells me? It tells me that the selection committee went with an advanced metric approach. A mainstream advanced metric approach is what I call it, where they're really leaning on metrics like the FPI. I'm not a fan of the FPI. I don't agree with this criteria at all, as a matter of fact. I think it should be based on two things: wins and losses and strength of schedule. Okay? I also see they ranked A&M low, Ole Miss is low, BYU's low, and Vandy's low. All these teams are lower on the FPI. By the way, side note, if you bet with the FPI, you will lose money. It's not a good predictive metric. I'll just put that out there. But then I see this. This is one of the things that just perplexed me. Why on blithering earth is Virginia ranked ahead of Tennessee? And I know you guys don't think that this matters because, yes, technically Virginia and Tennessee, well, Tennessee at least is probably out of it. Virginia can't get in as an at-large. But the reason why I'm hyper-focusing on this is because I want to see the selection committee's process. All right? And clearly, this shows to me that they just looked at the record and applied no critical thinking and ranked Virginia ahead of Tennessee. Are we aware that Virginia lost to NC State and Wake Forest? Tennessee's losses are to Oklahoma, at Alabama, and Georgia. Those are 3 losses against top 10 ranked teams. So you must think, oh, Virginia probably has a bunch of big wins, right? Virginia has 0 wins against teams in the strength of record top 30. Oh, let's go to the top strength of record top 60. Virginia's body of work of wins must be better, right? Virginia's got 1 win against the entire strength of record top 60. Tennessee's got 3. Oh, so they must have gone by the FPI, right? That's what they've been doing the entire time, right? Virginia is ranked 45th, 29th in the FPI. Tennessee is ranked 16th. Oh, so they must have gone by strength of record, maybe. Oh, Virginia's ranked 29th. Tennessee's ranked 18th. What are we doing? It's crap like this. This is why USC is trying to weasel their way out of playing Notre Dame every year. This is why Penn State's non-con until 2030 is cupcake after cupcake. This is why Nebraska canceled their season series against Tennessee. This is why Indiana canceled their season series against Virginia and against Louisville a year ago. It's stuff like this because the committee has shown that they're not going to apply critical thinking. They're only going to rank you based on record. So the market, as a capitalist market does, is naturally adapting to that. This has got to be fixed. There's no question about it because the committee is clearly not valuing strength of schedule here. They're only ranking it based on record. And here's the frustrating part. You think, they're ranking it based on record, but then you see BYU is ranked behind Notre Dame and Alabama. What are they ranking it? Is it your eye test? Well, you've given us no transparency over what your eye test is. Stuff makes me mad. And there are so many more things I could go on to. Why is Pitt ranked ahead of Missouri? Pitt lost to West Virginia. All 4 of Missouri's losses are against teams competing for a playoff spot right now. Missouri's had their opportunities to lose to the West Virginias of the world, but they've beaten all of them. Why is that? It's just clearly because of record. There's no value of strength of schedule. How about LSU over SMU? SMU lost to Baylor and Wake Forest. All 4 of LSU's losses are against teams competing for a playoff spot. Unbelievable. I can go down on this list and keep giving you things, but we'd be here all day. Okay? I've got a Thanksgiving dinner to get to, so I don't have that type of time. After looking at all these rankings, 1 through 25, what did this committee do? I think what they did is they went insanely FPI driven, advanced metric driven, and then they took their foot off the gas for the remainder of it and applied no critical thinking and just ranked teams based on record. Basically, what they did is in their 9 to 5 shift, from 9 to before their lunch break, they put a reasonable amount of effort in. And then from after their lunch break until 5 o'clock, they fell asleep. You know what happens if you do that every single day? You get fired. And that's exactly what this selection committee has done.